Welcome back to KiraKira. My name is Kathy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create this chocolate frog lid. This lid goes along with the Pentagon box that I showed in a different class, and it actually fits together like this. We're going to be using Autodesk Tinkercad to create this design. You can make a free account by going to tinkercad.com. Here's a look at what we'll be making. This lid is made out of PLA filament and was made by the amazing team here at KiraKira. You can have your finished design printed with a 3D printer if you submit it to KiraKira. I'll show you how to submit your design at the end of this class. Let's get started making. We're actually going to build off of this open box that we made in a different class because we're going to need the dimensions of this box to make sure that the lid fits. So I'm going to click on Tinker This so that I can open this file, and then I'm going to click on Duplicate so that we don't mess up the original file. Now we can start making the lid. So just drag the box over to the side for a little bit. Then you're going to ungroup all of these shapes. And the reason we do that is because we want to know how big this inner pentagon is, because the lid is going to fit inside. We're going to make it a solid shape instead of a hole. And then we're going to copy it, paste it over here so that we can make our design. Now we have the right size. Just to be extra cautious, we're going to make it a little bit smaller than this exact size so that we can ensure that the lid will fit. Hold down Shift. Let's make it 30 millimeters. That should work. We don't want a lid that is actually this tall. Click on the pentagon prism and drag this white dot down there. Now we're at 6. And you can either have a filled in lid, but I would prefer to have a cutout one because you don't need the extra space in here. So I'm going to copy this and then paste. If you've watched other tutorials on how to cut away a shape from another shape, you'll know how to do this already, so feel free to skip ahead. But I'm going to turn this green just so we can differentiate between the two. And then I'm going to make this pentagon about 3 millimeters smaller with one that was 30, and then I'm just going to make it 27. First I'm going to make it a little taller and then drag it over. And to look at it from the top, let's do this and change your snap grid to 0.1, and that way we'll be able to control how much we move the lid. That looks centered. Then if you look at it from the bottom, you'll see that it's lying on the same plane. So now we can turn this into a hole instead of a solid shape. Select both of these shapes and group them. You'll see the cutout. Okay, so this is the part of your lid that will fit inside the box and keep the lid from sliding around. To add a top to this lid, we're going to use the shape generators, and then click on Tinkercad, and then here we have this amazing pentagon that is already made for us by Tinkercad. Thank you, Tinkercad. The only thing we need to do is make it a little bit smaller. The standard polygon that you get from dragging this over is the correct size that we want. So all we have to do is drag it over to the lid that we created, and then you just have to drag it higher up so that it is resting on the top of this rim. To do that, click on this black arrow, drag it up. And to get a better view, we're going to click on this arrow so that we can look at the bottom. So if you drag this up a bit, you'll see that there's a gap. We don't want that gap, so just play around with the placement, and as long as they're touching, that's good. And then we can delete this box. And then to make it all one shape, click on both the lid and the rim and click on group. Now we have our lid. And let me show you how to make a little handle for your lid because it's super easy. All you have to do is go to Geometric. We're going to choose this torus and drag it over, flip it by 90 degrees. Drag it a little higher and drag it over here on top of the lid. And you might want to make it a little smaller. It's up to you. I'm going to change this to 15 millimeters and then adjust the placement of this ring. Once you have it centered where you want it to be, then we will be done. That looks good. All we have to do now is group all of these together. Perfect. Now that you know how to create the lid to this Pentagon box, you can make so many other things. You can visit KiraKira's website at KiraKira.com to browse all the other tutorials that we have on the website. Thanks for watching and see you next time.